Should you rent to people that have pets? That's today's video. Let's dive in. Hey there, I'm Clayton Morris. I'm the founder and president of Morris Invest. I'm a longtime real estate investor, and this whole channel is devoted to helping you create passive income and cash flow for you and your family through rental property investing. So today on the show, we're going to talk about pets. And it's a question that we get a lot from people. Should I rent to people with pets? And you know what? This was sage advice taught to me a number of years ago by a real estate mentor that I studied under. And one of the things that I learned from him was that pets are actually a benefit to your rental property. Whoa, wait a second. We've all heard the horror stories, right, of dogs peeing through carpets and actually staining the hardwood floors underneath, or dogs scratching up the doors and have to get doors replaced, or the yard gets destroyed with dogs and cats, whatever. Craziness, right? Maybe. That's perhaps could be a problem. However, what you will find, and this was a brilliant piece of advice, and I have stuck to it. For instance, in a property that I own in Michigan, it's a corner property. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and it has a backyard. And it actually had a fenced-in backyard when I acquired the property, and I fixed up the inside of the house. And I talked to the property management team, and I said, how much more could I get for rent if I rented it to a person with pets? And they said, well, big dog, whatever, we could add an additional, usually we would add an additional $50 or $75 per month to have a pet like that in the house. And I said, great, let's do it. This is going to be an attractive property for a pet owner because of the fenced-in backyard and because it's huge. So let's do it. And I'm glad I did, because I later learned how valuable this was. I ended up signing a 5-year lease with the tenants on that property. Why? Well, here's the nugget of wisdom I learned from my mentor. It is very difficult for renters that have pets, that own pets, to find properties. So if you're a husband and wife, or you're a young couple and you've got a big dog and you love dogs, right? That's great that you love dogs, but it's also difficult to find apartments and property management that will let you have a pet in your property. So very often they tend to stay for a long time because it's a huge pain in the butt for them to go and find other properties for them to rent. So that's what happened here. We found a great tenant who had a big dog and rented the property, stayed in the property for 5 years, and the property was in great condition. We did a little tenant turnover after the tenant moved out. They actually had to move to another state for work. So we did a tenant turnover in the property. It cost us like a few $100s to get it paint and just steam clean the carpets. And we were golden, back up and running and rented in no time. So pets can be a huge benefit. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, what happens if they scratch things up and they ruin things? Well, that's on your renter, right? So you're going to also take a pet deposit when they move in. So a pet deposit, which would cover any kind of damages associated with dogs peeing through the carpet and staining hardwood floors or scratching up doors. And then they also should have their security deposit. So a pet deposit and a security deposit should cover you for anything that's going to really be caused by a dog or a cat. Let's be honest, cats scratch up their couches and they're not really scratching up much of the house. And dogs, if they're doing anything, maybe peeing on the floor, that's rare if they don't know how to take care of their dog, and you get that cleaned or buffed out with redoing some of the hardwood floors. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. And I've done some of those repairs and they're not costly. So again, the benefits of having a pet in a rental property, actually pretty good. Long-term tenants, and you get more for your rent. So think twice when you say no to renting to someone with a pet. I'm Clayton Morris. Please subscribe to my channel. We produce videos every week. We try to put out great content for you to make great decisions about rental property investing, creating passive income, reading great books about rental real estate, all of those things. Everything that's in my brain, I'm trying to break it down and put it out into great videos for all of you. So please subscribe. We'll see you back here in the next video, everyone. Have a good one.